Hi everyone, welcome to a very special episode of the Backstage podcast. This episode is special because I am on a train. I'll talk about that in a bit, but yeah, I haven't podcasted in a while, and I'm on this train with nothing else to do, so I figured I'd record this for y'all today on my iPad. It will probably get uploaded later. Today is Tuesday the 17th of October. I will probably upload this Thursday night or Friday morning. So, who knows? Maybe that's when you'll see it. Yes, this is Backstage podcast. I'm Catherine. I normally podcast from Hartford, Connecticut, but now I am podcasting from right outside of Burlington, Iowa. Yes, Burlington, Iowa. Actually, probably still in Burlington now that I see what's outside. But anyway, I'm on my vacation. I'm taking the train out to California. Ooh, wonky light, apologize. For our friend's wedding. And in California, so I started in Hartford at 6:30 yesterday. And this is train 3 of 3. So I did Hartford to DC, which was about a 7-hour trip. We got in at like 1 maybe. And then we left DC at 4 and got into Chicago at 10, and then we left Chicago at 2, and here we are now at 5:45. So still early into this part of the trip. This trip is 2 nights, so I'm recording from my little sleeper car, which is definitely the way to go. Not only do I have a bed that I can actually sleep on, but I have a private space in which I can talk to you all. Yeah, I highly recommend train travel. It's really awesome. I did it a lot as a kid. Ooh, sorry, freight train going by. Like my family went out to Seattle on the train a couple times. I think we did the Coast Starlight, which is LA, up into the, I think it might go as high as like Vancouver. I don't really know the routes, but anyway, I'm like reliving that, and it's been really fun to do that. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Definitely get a sleeper car if you can. It's a little pricier, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. Okay, on to the knitting. I'm Catherine. I'm on Ravelry as backstagekatknits and on Instagram as backstagekath. And I've been posting all photos from my journey, both on my Instagram feed and also my story. Obviously, the ones from right now won't be there, but anyway, good times. I actually have a lot of knitting to talk about because, it's 3 days on a train, and that's an excuse to knit. So there's a lot going on. Hopefully the recording on this is alright. I actually have 2 finished objects to share, and the other reason I'm recording this is actually these are being given away this weekend at my friend's wedding. So the first is this. This is the Aurora shawl by Helen Stewart, which was part of the Shawl Society. And so the story behind this is I actually started this in March on my trip to London, but just never got around to finishing it, and I was working on it, trying to get through some of my whips earlier this month. The sound is just going to be horrible. This is a very long freight train going by. And I was just like, you know what? I have so many shawls. I think I want to give this to Liz. Her wedding is coming up. It would be nice to have a wedding present for her, and so I've decided, well, I'll make this for her. This is out of so bad. Can't see anything. Okay, here we go. This is out of a Seven Sisters Arts Meridian gradient set. It's got 6 colors. This was one of the recommended yarns in the pattern. So I think like you did it so this blue is like the darkest color, and I guess this gold is like the lightest. And so it kind of like shifts through the shawl. It's a really pretty pattern. It blocked out nice and airy. It's an asymmetrical triangle. I love Helen Stewart's designs, so I highly recommend it. I bought all of the Shawl Society and have knit now 1.5 of them. Yes. But I highly recommend any of her patterns. I also love the Pebble Beach. So that is that. It's gotten a little crinkly because it's been folded up in my suitcase, but maybe I'll just kind of let it air out once we get to California and it'll be good. So, beautiful. Catching the light there. Look at that. Gorgeousness. Finished object number 1. We're going to run into some sun trouble, so hopefully it'll go away soon. I can probably do that. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so then I was like, well, I can't go to Liz's wedding. So Liz is my friend from work. Actually, give me 1 second. There we go. That helps slightly. Liz is a friend I met at work. She's from California. And I went to visit her once, but like I was in California for like 48 hours, so I don't know any of her family. I don't even know her fiance. I don't know any of her friends. So I'm going to this wedding like by myself. But I was like, I can't. Liz is my friend, but it'd be still weird to like knit her something and not knit her husband something. So I knit her husband a scarf, which is sort of folded in half right now because it's so long in here. This scarf is a modified version of the Maritime Cowl by, I think it's Kara Stanley. I know it's one of the women who runs Nice and Knit, which is a yarn company in Connecticut, actually. And the original pattern is stockinette and infinity, and I did neither. It's garter stitch because I think it's a little more manly and doesn't curl, and also made it out of worsted weight yarn. Like I want to say it calls for DK. This is worsted weight, and it also, the pattern is a lot more regular than this. I kind of like the Charlie Brown stripes. Anyway, I just basically used it to get the number of stitches and how you make the chevrons. Other than that, it's sort of my own version of the Maritime Cowl. I knit this out of 2 skeins of Valley Yarns, Northampton, which is their, I don't think it's superwash, they're 100% wool worsted base. And this is, I think this is chestnut heather, and this is just like green heather maybe, I don't even remember. And I really like how they work together. It's gonna be impossible to show up A, in this light, and B, just on the camera, but they sort of have the same, like, they've got like a little bit of a fuzz to them, a little bit of a heather, and it's sort of the same like gold heather as in both, so they look really good together. It's just a big, thick shawl, like, or scarf, or for a man. They like to go hiking, and I think skiing and stuff, so it's perfect for that. Nice and warm, to wrap up in. So, that's that. Now, let's talk about what I'm knitting on the train. So, the thing I've been working the most on is another Helen Stewart design from the Shawl Society, because I'm obsessed. This is the Talisman shawl. Ooh, hopefully it was your pattern. And yeah. I am knitting this out of 2 skeins. I thought I would be able to make the medium size. It's looking like I'm going to be able to get the small. I don't think this is 30 grams, which I need it to be. But I'll just make it small and it'll be fine. Of the Uncommon Thread BFL Light DK, which is Superwash BFL, and in the colorway Olive Leaf. I actually got this while we were in London in Loop. So it's just a great travel project because A, the pattern is super easy, super mindless. I can just knit it without looking at it and watch this lovely scenery of our grand country of ours go by. And B, it has memories of when I traveled to London with this yarn. So I'm knitting it in my Stitched by Jessalou, like, I guess, tall bag? I don't know what you would call it. But I really like its shape. It's like a little unusual and boxy. Large boxy bag. Those cute little deer and foxes and bunnies. So pretty. Let's actually show off the shawl, shall we, Catherine? And not just talk about it. Okay, so it's a little hard because it's curling. Obviously, I haven't blocked it, but this is what I've done so far. This was 0% of the way completed at the beginning of this trip, so, oh Lord. I'm 30% of the way through the yarn content, which is actually like 2/3 of the way. Dang it, there's blankets there. There we go. Which is like 2/3 of the way through the number of rows. A little less than 2/3. Anyway. So yeah. But again, I might have to make this a little bit smaller, so maybe a little bit more than that. Up to this octopus stitch marker is what I got through yesterday. And then up to here is where I've gotten so far today, and I'll probably keep working on this most of the night, so a lot more to go on that. I'm sorry the light is so wonky, but the sun is setting, and so we've got that to deal with. Let's see if I can do that. Blankets are in the way and causing me issues. Okay, that's worse lighting, but less annoying lighting. So, anyway, this is just a really pretty gray.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. James here once again from the dining car. We'd like to call on our 6 o'clock seating now for dinner.
That's
just a few minutes early. If you have a reservation for dinner for 6 o'clock, please join us in the dining car. We do ask you wait to be seated at the door by an attendant. Thank you.
Thanks, James. I love the train so much, and I don't even know if people are nearby, but if they are, they probably think I'm crazy. That's okay. I like being crazy. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. That's the backside. This color is like this really pretty, like almost undertone greeny gray, and I think it's called olive leaf because if you've ever like seen a grove of olive trees, or I think it happens with like eucalyptus trees, as like the wind blows through them, the back sides are like not green like the front sides are. They're like this pretty little gray, and so it's just a very like, it kind of, you know how yarn sometimes like shines, it kind of like, it's not shiny but it shines, and it's BFL, so it's gonna be just such this like thick, so I went up a needle size than the pattern called for because I am using a thicker weight yarn. I think the medium-sized called for a skein and a half of fingering. I think the small called for a skein of fingering, and I think the large called for 1 skein of lace weight. 100-gram skeins, if I'm remembering that correctly. So anyway, I've got 2 skeins of DK. So I went up a needle size, and it's just this like perfect gauge. Like I feel like it's not too loose, because you don't want stockinette to be too loose. Like maybe you do. I personally don't like stockinette to be too loose. That little star detail is like just enough. This is kind of one of the things, like it's meant to be a treasured object, and this definitely will be. It'll be such good memories. I originally was like, I'm not gonna try to finish any of these projects that I brought with me, but I'm hoping to actually finish this one before the end of the trip. Maybe not on the train, but I get in Thursday and I leave Sunday and I'm flying home. So I think between now and Sunday, I should be able to get this done. We'll see though. You never know. So that's that. And then, let me just do this one more thing. Here we go. Okay. Everything out. But the other project that I've actively worked on is in this Deli Q bag, which I bought. And this is actually a Hamilton kit. So you see it says work, and these are the Schuyler sisters from Hamilton. This is the I Want a Revelation Hamilton inspired sock. It is by Java Pearl Designs, who is Cece. And let's see, I think I can show you this without giving too much away. Yeah, there we go. So it's like this cool little lace sock. The yarn is very colorful yarnings. Saturated sock self-striping in the colorway work, and it was specifically dyed as a collaboration between the designer and the dyer. So the 3 colors are inspired by the colors of the 3 sisters' dresses. So again, here's what I've done so far. Up to the stitch marker was what I got yesterday, and up to where is what I did today. It's basically just one more repeat. I like totally effed up the repeat at the beginning because the charts, I just looked at them wrong. It was like 10:30 at night when I got to the charts, and I'd been on a train all day. But I'm not going back to fix it, because who cares about the part right before the toe? You don't even see it if you're wearing shoes. So anyway, I just it's the right number of rows and the right number of stitches. It just, the yarn overs and slips and we're in all the wrong places, but it'll solidify into something more obvious as we go further along. So there is that. And then I have 2 other projects with me, neither of which I've touched though, which I'm okay with, but I figure since I'm here talking to y'all, I'll share them. Whoops, okay, that's gonna go back there. The first is a project that's actually started, but not, okay, I've got like things all over the place now. Not done, obviously. So this is the True Friend by Ravelry. I have the pattern, but it doesn't really have a good photo, so I'm not going to bother showing it to you. But it's a sweater. The construction is you do the front flap, and then the back flap, and then you pick up stitches and it stripes. So I'm doing this with 2 colors. So the gray, this is Knit Picks Scroll, tonal, the gray, and then this teal. And I think this is Serpent, and I forget what the gray is called, and I don't feel like digging through here to find it. This is actually in a Hamilton bag, stitched by Just Lou. Again, love her. My friend got this for me as a birthday gift. Thanks, Alessandra, if you watch. This is like the heaviest part of my journey, to be honest, is I put all the skeins in here in case I got through them, which I'm realizing is a stupid idea because I'm spending a lot of time on the talisman shawl and haven't touched this at all, and so there's probably like 3 extraneous skeins that I didn't need to take with me. But oh well. So there's that. More to come in hopefully future episodes when I have time. And then the last thing is, the reason I haven't worked on it is because I want to make a brioche hat, 2-color brioche. I downloaded this free pattern, the Brioche Basic Beanie by Marilyn Blackner, and I really want to make it. But the problem is I didn't do any research on the brioche stitch, thinking like, oh, I'll just research it on the train, like on the Wi-Fi. I'll sit there at night once it's dark out and brioche. Well, the Northeast, what's it called? The Northeast Corridor trains all have Wi-Fi. Apparently, once you get past DC, there's no Wi-Fi. So, which is fine most of the time because I have my phone with data and it's not a problem. But I downloaded a bunch of things onto my iPad, so it's not a problem, except that I don't feel like trying to research and like look how to do brioche stitch on my phone. It's already dark and there's no light and like it's just too much. So I haven't researched it and therefore I have not worked on this other thing at all. But again, I'm not upset about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next station stop coming up here in just about 5 minutes. Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Mount Pleasant, Iowa will be next, just about 5 minutes. Mount
Pleasant, Iowa. So anyway, I want to make a 2-color brioche hat out of these 2 things. This is Valley Yarns Northampton in the black colorway. It is black. And then this is Molly Girl Yarns. This is the Rockstar base in the colorway Dance Rascal Dance. And this is a black light colorway. So I just think it would be fun to do a 2-color brioche out of these. I contemplated using a cream color skein instead, but I think I'm going to like the contrast more than I like the blending. I'd be like a little surprised, like, hey look, black light. Not that I ever go to places where there is black light. I don't really know why I bought this, to be honest. I just think I thought it was cool. I bought it at Stitches United in April. Anyway, maybe Thursday or Friday night I'll start that when I'm in the bed and breakfast and I'm hungry. There's Wi-Fi. This is in my Yarn Seller Studios bag. Bees. Okay, I think that's it. Now that I made a total mess of my cabin. Yeah. So that's it. I've been talking for longer than I meant to. I'm sorry I haven't done a podcast in so long. My October is like insane. But this trip is really awesome and I'm really glad I did this and I highly recommend that you do the train. I don't want to make an assumption that many of my viewers are single women, but it is possible that some of you are single women, and I think that it feels a very safe way to travel. There's a lot of people around. You have, especially if you're in a sleeper car, which is more pricey, but I think is the way to go. You get all your meals included. Chicago, you've got like access to a lounge, and you can get to lay down 100%. Like these seats, like fold down. There's also a bunk above, so technically this cabin is for 2 people, which is why it's a little more expensive if you're single. I think it evens out a little bit better if you're with 2 people, but yeah, there's a bunk up there. So, and then like there's another seat facing me. So if you were with 2 people, it'd be like, hey, how are you? Facing each other, which is a cool way to travel anyway. Then like sitting next to each other awkwardly and be like, hello, how are you today? Anyway, yeah, just to say if there's people around, like it has a door, right? Like I'm traveling for 3 days, so like a door is a good thing to have. Anyway, I'm sure this totally reason I'm just going to whatever. I've been babbling on for a long time. It's been so long since I've done this. If you still subscribe to my channel, thank you. You all are the best. Thanks to Maureen and Robin, my coworkers. Shout out to you if you're watching this, because here I am on the train doing the podcast. Maybe I'll text Maureen. Maybe she'll actually watch it. So, anyway, hope this video finds you all well. Hope that you're having a wonderful day and enjoying what you're knitting. I'll see you later from a non-train location. Bye!